Hello. Today I'm going to be going over the behavioral targets and interventions for the client that I am working with this semester. So I just wanted to give a client recap to begin with. So the client that I'm working with this semester is female. She's 4 years and 2 months old. She was first diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder when she was 3. Currently, she attends daycare from Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 12:30 p.m., and receives one-on-one direct ABA services with a therapist, which is me. And her recommended services are one-on-one direct ABA therapy hours, 30 hours per week. This is a decrease from our first case study because she was receiving ABA services 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Monday through Friday, and she was also receiving services every Tuesday from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. But those have since ceased because her authorization no longer has is at that higher level of hours. So to begin, I just wanted to give a behavioral targets set for increase overview. So these are all behavioral targets that are set for increase that we are currently working on with varying interventions. I will later go into a specific behavioral target set for increase and give a behavioral definition. But I just want to give an overview of what her intervention and what our ABA sessions looks like. So, her goals are initiation of social interactions with peers, following 3-component instructions, spontaneous mands to peers, mands to stop an aversive activity, engagement with peers overall, recalling past events, self-regulation skills, tacting skills, visual perception skills, and listener responding and receptive language skills. So this is again still behavioral targets set for increase, but this is a closer look in actual behavioral definitions for um, those targets we are currently um, prioritizing. So one of them is tacting and labeling skills, and that's the overall long-term goal. But her short-term goal right now is that the client will name the shape and function for a minimum of 15 different objects during session. This is actually the fifth new goal added in this category of the long-term goal, because the previous four were mastered in a matter of 3 months. Our primary teaching method for this is functional communication training and natural environment teaching. All of her ABA sessions occur either in the home or primarily in the daycare setting. And in the daycare setting, all teaching is natural environment. There is no structured learning teaching taking place as of yet. My supervisor explained to us that, for her, for the skills that she does have, being in that daycare setting with that socialization of peers constantly is probably the best environment for her. So at the moment, we aren't taking her out for structured learning time. And this teaching method is an evidence-based practice, as LeBlanc et al. In 2009 did a study, and they found that promoting generalization of TACs and increasing that TAC repertoire for children with ASD was very effective using this 5-step recommendation. And that was 1, transferring stimulus control to teach TACs; 2, blending structured teaching settings with natural teaching settings; 3, testing whether TAC repertoire is transferred to settings outside of research settings; 4, selecting targets that are socially valid; and 5, using social reinforcement to teach TACs. These 5-step recommendations are all things that we use in our functional communication intervention. Um, like I said, we haven't blended the structured teaching setting with natural teaching settings, but we are conducting ABA sessions both in the daycare and at home. So we're able to see if those TAC repertoires are being transferred from, our primary clinical setting to the home and outside environments. And all of her targets are socially valid. They are things in her daycare as well as home. And we use social reinforcement to teach those tasks, not only with teachers and therapists, but also with her peers. Now I'm going to go into our behavior targets set for decrease. And so there's two of them that I'm going to discuss. The first one being tantrum. The behavioral definition for tantrum for my client is any episode of client engaging in whining with or without tears, stomping or jumping, and flapping her arms. An example would be pouting and stomping her feet. A non-example is crying from injury. The intervention we use to put this at decrease is functional communication training and natural environment teaching. With functional communication training, we are teaching her escape mans as well as um, mans to engage in self-regulation techniques such as hugs or if she needs to take deep breaths. And we're also teaching her mans to peers so that she can ask for preferred items and activities that are not um, accessible to her right away. Um, and so I know I didn't put this in the intervention, but this is a part of our intervention that we're using that Lee from 2014 actually researched, and she did a research study on functional communication intervention combined with delayed gratification toleration in children with ASD, and found that tantrum episodes significantly decreased. So we are also working on that delayed access toleration and denied access toleration, especially being in the daycare environment where many of the different areas in the daycare are only accessible to 2 or 3 peers at a time. We were seeing a lot of tantrum behaviors when she was told no, or that she had to wait, 10, 15 minutes. So in the beginning, we were working on, having her manned to peers to ask if she could have a turn. And if the peer did say no, working on, 2 minutes of time, denied access toleration, then allowing her access if no behaviors were observed. We are up to now 30 minutes of denied access to a preferred activity. She will still pout, but she does not engage in whining when she's denied access, does not engage in whining or with tears. So it's not considered a tantrum. But that may be something that we target in the future once her tantrum behaviors have ceased altogether. I also just wanted to I did put this in my first case study, but I want to put it in here again. These are her actual results from the MAS, and as you can see, the function of the tantrum was tangible as she scored 15 in that category, and sensory escape and attention were all at 0. This was taken at the onset of services when she was first diagnosed. So that was back when she was over a year ago. Since then, this has not been redone. But I will say that escape, maintain tantrums have also been observed during session to escape, unpreferred activities such as large group activities, using a pencil to sign in. So again, just teaching her those functional communication techniques such as, I need more time, or I need a break, I need to go on a walk in the hallway, are various mans that we're teaching her for functional communication to decrease those tantrums throughout the sessions. Another behavior target that is set for decrease is elopement, and this is defined as any episode in which the client is more than 3 feet away from the designated area without permission from an adult. An example is leaving circle time without permission. A non-example would be wandering around her house when she is not told to stay in a specific area. Her intervention for this target decrease is functional communication training and natural environment teaching. Lang et al. 2009 did a research article in which they found functional communication training to be the most effective for decreasing elopement among children with ASD. With my client, elopement does typically occur during large group activities such as circle time in the daycare setting, in which my client will either get up and try to go play with an activity, or she will get up to go to the bathroom. Right in the beginning, she was able to be taken back to the circle. If she sat for 3 seconds, she was then prompted to man to ask for a break. And then she was allowed up to 2 minutes of access to a preferred activity. And then we'd have to go back and stay in circle for 2 minutes, to teach her that, her escape mans will maintain that same function of getting out of the large group activity. But since then, she has gained the skill repertoire to maintain circle time for up to 20 minutes, which is great. So those escape mans that she's at times still does engage in, are not always honored. And again, that's another toleration of denied access. But elopement has decreased significantly. Um, she still does elope at circle time when she needs to go to the bathroom. So if we see precursors to her having to go to the bathroom, we'll prompt her to ask the teacher to go use the bathroom. And as I said, this is an evidence-based treatment, as the research article here states. And these are my references. Thank you.